Coming to you live and in living color, it is I, the reflection of perfection, your main man. And the direction is within the ring of fire. Get your special PDF bundles while supplies last. Everything ever put out for Within the Ring of Fire for a limited time for only $75. That's every PDF ever. The first 4 are out. The next one's coming out very soon. And I'm working on 3 more books for Within the Ring of Fire to really pump this, to really get this brand going, to allow you guys an in-depth, intricate RPG experience. Check out Matt Click's video, a review of Within the Ring of Fire. Make sure you give my buddy a sub. It's, to me, very important that games that portray and bring forth a love and passion for the hobby are being put out there. The games that teach and focus on role-playing. Games that are designed to grab your imagination and keep you sitting there while the fire burns and the story is told. That's why I did this with help of some great and talented people trying to bring this, myself and as well as a team, to bring this to you guys. You can hit me up, Anderwood, main man, on Facebook, and get your copies of the PDFs. You can go to DriveThruRPG and get your physical copies of the book as well. Check us out on Raw Immersive Games on Facebook and join that and find more of the action and excitement that you crave. We're going to be talking about 2 topics that I have continuously been asked about for the last 2.5, perhaps even as far as 2 or 3 quarters of months. I've been asked a lot about these 2 topics. I don't know why. First of all, what is my opinion of the general posted live play videos, particularly those that I am not in? And I will tell you this, I think that there's some wonderful people making wonderful videos about role-playing. You know, of course, you can check out any video, except for one. God, there's one dreadful one. It doesn't have anything to do with me, but there's one dreadful one out there with anyone watching. Other than that, I would put out any of the videos that I'm in. I think those are all wonderful. Of course, always to varying degrees, but not just those, but, you know, people that I would consider to be my buddies, my group. And I'm sure there's others out there, so I'm not like, oh, if I don't mention you, I'm not trying to say you're the drizzling shits or anything. I might not have seen it or might not be thinking about every continuous possibility, baby. But, you know, if you check out Rob Davis's videos, Alex Gillette videos, Captain Gothnog, there you go. Twisted my tongue for a minute. Go subscribe to him, my buddy. Did the wonderful cover art right there within the Ring of Fire. He did that piece. The ogre telling that ancient story. You could check out Matt Pritchard or Lou's channels. Go subscribe to them. Watch their videos. Just a ton of people out there running great games that focus on role-playing. And there's different ways you could focus on role-playing. But if you're focusing on role-playing, you're in the ballpark, you know. I mean, you're at that level. And that's a good deal. And to me, those are great. Those are great things to have out. So the problem is, and what people are asking about, a lot of people have expressed their problems with, are videos, and some of these are really old. So like they were back way in the day, and people would always be on me early, like, oh, please post, you know, your group's plan. I was like, dude, I just have a webcam. I can't. You know, you're not really gonna hear everybody, and I don't have like a nice cam set up with a mic and all that, boom mic, all that kind of stuff. I don't have that. Although in the near future, I may well invest. I was talking to my buddy Matt Click, and you can check his channel and subscribe to that too, about the prices on some stuff, because I think he has a good looking setup, and I would like to improve mine a little bit. So when you when you see these games, and you know, some have over 50,000 views, and yes, some of them you will see comments from me on that aren't very kind, but you may see a game, and one in particular, and there's some group of kids that are, I can't think of the name of the channel, but they were putting out videos that are abominable. It's like a current channel. They have they get a lot of views. I don't know, maybe they do video game stuff too, or they do something that I think draws in a wider audience, and then they get a smaller audience, but a larger than most videos about role-playing would have. And I mean, they were just terrible. You know, all this goofy, out-of-character laughing, and then, you know, some very vague descriptions. It was just very, very bad. I don't suggest anyone look for it. But I have a lot of people asking about that channel, and then several others as well. You know, some of these old videos, and I watched some of these videos. I watched one that's like, it was about 45 minutes. It had I don't know. This is a while back I saw this one. It's over 50,000 views, that's a good amount of views for an RPG video. Granted, it was one of the really early ones, and those, of course, they keep getting pushed up. So with the amount of views, people are going to see them and get more views and so forth. Perhaps rightfully so for being early. But a video like that where you focus completely not on, there was literally no RPing, none, not one in character sentence, not one. I was looking at that like a bird dog. I'm like, there's got to be something, but you could not have role played worse. There was literally nothing you could do worse. They were, just eating snacks and telling like goofy out of character jokes while they essentially cheated. In my game group, that would be considered cheating. If you're like, oh, look, I only have 7 hit points. Run over here and use a cure light wound spell on me or whatever. No. You sit there talking to a kid, you go, I'm grievously injured. My companion, my shoulder's broken. Rush to me. Send me the grace of your deity so I may hold my shield yet again and fight back the horde of troglodytes that seek to assail us. And, of course, that was quite melodramatic what I just put down there, but still far better than, 5 hit points left. Bob, go bring your, I don't know what your character name was, but bring the fucking cleric over here, and, or even worse. Bob, tell your wife. The wife is sitting there. Tell your wife to send her cleric over and heal me. I'm down to 5 hit points. Yeah, this kind of thing does exist. Right here on YouTube. I suggest you do not look to find these. So, people ask me, very directly, what is my opinion on that? And I've had so many of you ask me, just make it a video. So I'm sure some of those people are coming here and get mad and hit the dislike button. Hit it as much as you want, baby. You ain't shutting me up. So, the deal is, that's an embarrassment. If you want to sit, wherever with your group of buddies and that's how you want to engage in a hobby, that's fine. Don't make other people think that that's what role-playing is. You are hurting the hobby. I'm being very serious right here. I'm not joking around. You're hurting the hobby, perhaps substantially. You may have had 50,000 people view that and go, oh, this isn't for us. That might be when that 12-year-old kid first hears about role-playing, about Dungeons and Dragons, and when it was Dungeons and Dragons. And he's like, Mommy, when it was Dungeons and Dragons, I'm finna watch this video now. And she's like, oh, done. And then he watches the video, and he's like, oh, Oh, I thought and it was like it was knights, and he doesn't quite know, but he knows what he's grasping for. Is that immersive quality? But he doesn't see it there. He doesn't know how to articulate that. He doesn't know what it is. He knows what he wants. When I remember being a kid, knowing what I wanted in the RPG experience, I always wanted the type of RPGs I play now. I just didn't know how to create them exactly at that point. And I was maybe 16 before I figured out how to really hit that immersive style and continue to develop and grow it to what it's become in my games. And seeing people completely unable to connect that because they've never been trained, they've never been taught right. And quite frankly, you're playing Dungeons and Dragons or Rifts or Star Wars or anything back in the day. None of them taught you how to role play, really. You started learning how to role play a little bit when Vampire the Masquerade came out. Still, White Wolf, it focused on it and it taught it, but it was missing a lot of things. It really still is, in terms of actually just sitting down and speaking A to Z, this is how we role play, this is how you're going to do it, and how you're going to learn it, And it is a thing. It's quantifiable, it's teachable, it's understandable. And I have a lot of videos on the various different sequences and pieces to put in your game. But it really comes down to make a character, play in character, stay in character. That's what or make a character, play the character, stay in character. There's my little mantra, and that really covers pretty much everything you need to, show up, try, succeed. That's the other one. And when you do those things, you can really make a good game. I don't encourage anyone to watch any of the pretty much any of the live plays I've been in, and the other guys I mentioned, as well as there's a bunch of other guys too that are really talented role players in the community. We have an enormous percentage of really talented players in our community, and I guess the YouTube sort of draws people that really love it. And if you really love it, man, you want to do it. You want to get in there. You want to role play. I mean, talking to your friends and everything, that's great, but in the middle, if you're swinging that sword, man, swing that sword, man. Try it as much as you can to hit it as close to real as possible. Cast that fireball and feel the flames and burn burn the flesh, smell the burning hair, smell the foul breath of the lizard man in his bowels as you disembowel him for his actions. And for his actions, he will pay the price. Rest assured. But I think these videos do a tremendous amount of harm to our hobby and should be taken down. Should be taken down, and the people should be horsewhipped that put them up. How about that? That's a shoot, baby, right there. So what the focus from our hobby really needs to be is to inducting, recruiting people into the game and teaching them, because I know a lot about this hobby, and a lot of you watching this video know a lot about this hobby. A lot of guys making videos, you understand, know a lot about this hobby. And it's incumbent upon us as the philosopher kings. Oh my God. Let's see if I can find anything more pompous than that. I'll try, and I will use it if I can, to teach those people, because a lot of the gaming lines don't. A lot of the corporal lines, baby, corporal punishment, but the corporate, easy for me to say, right? The commercial lines, they're not going to teach it, not going to focus on that, because it doesn't help meet the bottom line of selling as much fucking plastic miniatures as possible, as many bizarre accessories that you've never needed in the first place. But that aside, as you know my feelings strongly on that, like a 5-foot adjustment, I think it's very important to teach, and that's why I do this channel. It's free. There's no ads on the start of my videos, and I did that, for you guys, for anyone to get involved with, to say, look, I mean, this is an act of passion, a love on my part. Think what you will about my tactics, baby, but you won't find anybody that loves it. I got a 15 love for this hobby. You understand what I'm talking about? I got a forte in things. You understand? So for me, it's very important, and things that damage the hobby directly are offensive to me. And a style of game where you literally spend 45 minutes without a single line in character, a single line, and everything is just metagaming, moving around a board, and not role-playing at all, should not be posted up under role-playing. I do see those type of games, and if I go back into Atomic Comics or something, and I'm like, ooh. And I think intellectually, you can't really defend that. As people say, oh, well, gamers are stupid, they're dorky, they're for idiots. How do you defend that one? All day long, I'll sit down with anybody and defend that, and I'll win every time, because that's a creation of art. When you make your game and you work to making it art, to making it beautiful, that's what art is. It's beauty. And when you create beauty, when you create something that's wonderful, and people are like, yeah, that was it, high five, yeah, high five, baby, slap them on the gouye, whatever your custom is. That's my custom. You're going to create something that's really entertaining and interesting. Now, the number 2 thing I've been getting asked, and I put this on the end because I thought, hey, this might garner some more views, because I am always a whore like that. Boom! I keep getting asked, what are my opinions on Dungeon Master Johnny? Like, over and over and over again. I don't know. He must have done something to piss some people off, and surprise, surprise, Johnny boy! Which is odd to me, because every once in a while there's a period in the spike, and I get asked that question over the years quite a few times, because he gets more heat in the RPG hobby than I do, and that's saying something, because I'm the guy that made Morgul. Personally, and I tell people, I don't know what the problem is. The guy can certainly be obnoxious. Who's saying that? And hopefully you grasp that humor. But this guy, he loves the hobby. I mean, that's the bottom line. This guy loves the hobby. I think he gets burned out and pissed off and suffers from a burnout. I don't like your main man. I don't burn out, and I don't fade away. I'm in your face now and tomorrow, baby. But the guy, he loves the hobby. I don't have a problem. He and I don't have the same style. But I told him, one day I'd like to play, because he seems like he's real high on his style. Like he can bring across, the miniatures and all the tiles and fucking building a goddamn village. Like, I forget what they're called, but when I was a kid, they had the same gimmick, like from the 70s. It's exact the same toy. except it's like maybe with a higher laser printer or whatever. But they had exactly the same toy, like a Build a Little Village. I mean, some of y'all may be too young to see that. It was like, and maybe in the early 80s, I should say. I mean, I was a really little kid in the 70s. But I would remember you like punch them out of a book, and they do the exact same thing. They charge a lot for them. I'm like, that did not cost a lot to make. But all those tiles and trinkets and little goddamn rubber bands and fucking flashcards. I mean, your main man don't funk with that to the ground with all that. But I would with him at some point like to try that one time. I mean, you had to be in person. I think that style is very difficult. And I think the Google Plus Skype deal really favors immersive styles because it's just boom, in your role playing. Instead of, well, let's just try to set up this imaginary table and let me spend 40 goddamn 5 minutes to make every one of these encounters. Because, wait a minute, that wasn't the mana core. That's only in one space instead of fucking two and then two up and, that seems horrible to me. You're like fucking game programming practically at that point in the middle of the game. I'm trying to role play, But the guy's always struck me as he's very credible in his style. Again, it's not my style. Now you can argue and so forth. My style is the best style. We know that definitively. But the guy seems to be like a 10 or a 9 on his style, whatever. I haven't really sat down and game with him, or haven't at all really. Having it all at all, not really. He seems very with it, and knows a lot about this and that, and reads the books and knows that, whatever the weird products are, like the flashcards or the rubber bands or the tiles or whatever, And while I am trying to knock all that, because, I don't like that stuff, it's not my style. I find it detracts. But I hope what I'm trying to say is coming across, the fact that the guy inside that style seems like he really gets it. He really puts it over and understands that style of play to produce a game that may well be quite interesting and entertaining to try. And I've told him before that I would, if I'm ever up in well, I'm not going to say where he's from. Maybe he doesn't want you to know that, but I know where you live, baby. I know where you live, baby. Just to bring that across. So, for everybody who wants to hate on him, a lot of people be hating, which. I've heard some things, man. Like, just for no reason, people be hating on the dude. So what? He's got an opinion. Why don't you get an opinion, Don't just hate on the guy. But I've actually thought that he's one of the better makers of videos. So I'm going to say that, too. It's probably going to piss some people off. But that's how I feel about that. I feel he makes good videos. He's entertaining to listen to. He's got sort of that kind of nasally, I won't point over to where it is, but he got that kind of nasally accent. But I think that's funny as a Southern boy, fan baby. But yeah, I got no problem with the guy at all. In fact, I like the guy quite a bit. So I go on the record right there. And if you don't try to drag me into hating on the guy, is kind of what I'm saying. Because I had a bunch of people, even some people. I'm like, really? Are you gonna try to drag me just to hate on somebody? I mean, I will, but only if that's how I feel. And then I make that public knowledge. You damn well know who I don't like in the community. And I certainly have, I've seen him as a stand-up guy. I got to say that. So, go check out Dungeon Master John's channel, subscribe. What about that? Boom. And check out Raw Immersive Games on Facebook and join our community.